guys, welcome back to our channel, Midwest Homesteading. I'm Alicia if you're new here. Today I'm going to be trying something new. I'm going to be canning some jalapeno jelly. Never tried that before. Super excited to find a new way to use some of the jalapenos in our garden. I have canned plenty of cowboy candy at this point, so I'm really wanting to see if I can try something new. I know my family does like jalapeno jelly, so we're gonna give that a try. And I've never done this before, so you guys are gonna come along with me on my maiden voyage of jalapeno jelly. So we're gonna go out to the garden really quickly. We're gonna pick the jalapenos that we need, and then we're gonna get started. So let's go. Storm roll through. So now it's really hot, really muggy, and I've got my bowl. Gonna pick some jalapeno peppers. Going on so far. I'm getting ready to fill my clean jars with hot water. I've got my canner getting ready. I've got things on the stove set up. So I'm just gonna walk you through the process. I've done a couple canning videos so far. This recipe is very similar to cowboy candy, so I'll link that video below, except for instead of slicing the jalapenos, we are going to use my Vitamix and make them into very small pieces, because for jalapeno jelly, you don't really want a big piece of jalapeno in it. So I'm actually going to use my Vitamix for the jalapenos this time, and I'll just show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and fill the jars halfway with hot water, and then I'm going to put them in my canner. And this is basically just to hold them down in the canner so that they don't fall over. And then I'm just taking it over here and finding a little spot in the canner. So I've got my canning, my digital canner started, so you guys can see here. I won't run through the process like I have in previous videos. I'll just go ahead and link those for you if you want to watch them. So I've got my jars warming, and now I'm going to work on getting the food prepped. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash all of the peppers I just picked. I'm going to cut the ends off, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them in my Vitamix. Once I've got all of the peppers I'm going to use, then I'm going to put them in the pot, and then I'll show you guys what the next step is after that. I'm going to put you on a time lapse while I'm doing the peppers, because that might take a little bit, and the Vitamix might be a little loud. I've time lapse for just a minute because I want to show you guys what the consistency looks like so you need to have it very finely, almost pureed in a way, of the jalapenos. That's why I use, and I use all the liquid also. So take the liquid from when you puree the jalapenos, pour the liquid in as well, because we are going to use we're going to use pectin to kind of jellify it. So I wanted to show you guys, stop the time lapse. So what I'm doing is I'm basically just taking the jalapenos. I am wearing gloves, and I'm just rough chopping them in about chunks like this. And I'm just filling it up, turning it on, and then we're just going to keep filling this pot until we're ready to add the rest of the ingredients. My pressure cooker is ready for me. It's been beeping saying the cans are warm, so we're just gonna get this process going. We'll get those cans out, and then we'll start. I'm not pressure canning this, I'm actually water bath canning it, which I've showed you guys how to do that in a previous video, and I'll link it below. So this is similar to cowboy candy, the cowboy candy recipe. I'm making a jalapeno jelly versus cowboy candy, which this is some that I canned not that long ago. So this is what it will look like. It's cut in like pieces, whereas with jelly, you're making jelly. So you don't want your jelly to have big bites in it. So we're gonna do that. And I think it's gonna be super fun and super yummy. Warm up these peppers. I'll show you guys what this looks like, but and I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pot that I'm going to use to fill the canner whenever I'm ready. So I'm just going to heat this up. Once I get it to a boil, then I'm going to start adding the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add a little salt, a lot of sugar, and then I'm going to add the thickening agent that will help turn it into jelly. I just want to show you a close-up of what it looks like right now. I've got the jalapenos pretty pureed down, sorry. And if you see any big chunks in there that maybe your mixer did not get, you can go ahead and pull those out now. But it looks like my Vitamix did pretty good in chopping the peppers down. So I think I'm just gonna look around, see if I see any pieces. If I do, I'll pull those out. If not, I'm just gonna go ahead and let this cook for a little bit. Almost dumped my sugar. Okay, so at this stage, the peppers are starting to boil, pretty hot. So, and the heat gets in the air, so sometimes it'll make me cough. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna add in some salt. I'm just eyeballing, it's supposed to be a teaspoon of salt, so, and I'll put the recipe for how to make this in the description for you guys. And then I have 7 cups of sugar. I already measured this out, so yeah, I'm just gonna dump it in little bit by little bit. Actually, maybe a lot of it by a little bit. We're gonna let this cook down. Now this needs to boil, this whole mixture, the sugar, the apple cider vinegar, the, what else? Salt. All of this needs to cook for about 10 minutes. It needs to boil for 10 minutes. And then I will add in, once it's boiled for 10 minutes, then I'll add in the pectin. And then we'll go ahead and start assembling our jars. We add in the rest of the sugar. So I'm just gonna stir this pretty consistently. Once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna watch it and stir it for about 10 minutes. Then I'll be back. I don't know if any of you guys experience this, but I know I do. It's like when I cook, I get munchy. So I have an oatmeal raisin cookie while I'm making my jelly. I wanted to add that whenever you are making this, make sure you have a deep enough pot because the jalapenos do tend to foam and come up to the top. So this is why I'm stirring it quite continuously, just to kind of help with that process. But make sure you have a big enough pot. Mine is iffy. I probably should have used a deeper pot, but that's okay. We'll just keep working with it. So we're almost to the point where we are to add our pectin in. But as of right now, I'm just stirring. Okay, so we are at the 10-minute mark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add in the pectin. I'm just gonna use 1 packet. As you can see, it is very boily. I don't even know if that's a word. And so I'm just gonna kind of spread it in mix it in. And then once all the pectin is in, I am going to boil it for a minute longer, and then I'm gonna start the jarring process. Just kind of stirring it as I'm pouring it in. And I got the fruit pectin because it's made from real fruit. And since this is a sweeter, I mean, jellies tend to be sweet anyways, but. So I'm just gonna stir this in. We're gonna let this boil for a minute, and then we're gonna start canning. So I'm just gonna take it off of the stove now, and I'm going to take it over to my little setup station. And we're just gonna get things going. So you guys kind of know the drill if you've seen any of our videos. We're gonna take the cans out. They are ready to go, they are hot. So I'm just gonna take them out one at a time. Pouring out the hot water. Careful not to pour it on yourself. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling the jars. And then I've got the vinegar that I'm going to use to go around the rim. Sanitized. And then I've got my rings far away from me. These can be hot, so just kind of, just a little tight, not too much. And then it goes right back in. And we're just going to repeat that process until we run out of jars or we run out of jelly. Got our last jar filled and going in the canner. So I was actually able to get 7 in here, and then we're gonna get it going. I've got my canning lid. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. Turn it, push the lever down, green thing turned in, and I'm going to go ahead and start because it was telling me to fill the jars. I've already done that. Now it's water bath canning. If you're someone like me who forgets this step but catches it quickly afterward, it's okay. You need to add water 1 inch above the cans. I forget this notoriously, but I catch it like as soon as I push the start button. So all you gotta do is take the lid back off because it's just warming up at this point. And then I'm gonna take the hot water that I've been boiling on the stove. I'm gonna add it. Be careful not to burn yourself. I'm gonna add it over the cans, just to about 1 inch. And I usually just take a ruler just to be safe. And somehow I'm always at 1 inch. I don't even know how to do it. Go ahead, put the lid back on. And all good. Like I said, right now it's not actually canning, it is warming back up because we had the lid off when we were filling the jar. So it's warming back up. So you actually can take the lid off if you forget to add the water. Like I said, I've done this so many times and I did it again. So just add the water on top, 1 inch above the cans, and then start it. Also, when you're water bath canning, you do not need to add the vent regulator. So I just always have it sitting right beside the canner so I know where it's at and so I don't lose it because I have lost it before. Right, so it is now beeped at me that it's in the cool down stage. So what I'm gonna do is you just need to carefully take the lid off. And it's very hot, so just be careful. And then I'm just going to carefully and slowly start to take the jars out, and then I'm going to put them over here to cool all the way down. All right, so now it's beeping at me to start taking the jars out. So that's what I'm gonna do. Carefully. And then I'm just gonna sit them over here to cool. Try not to shake them a whole lot because they are gonna start sealing. You'll start hearing the can lids pop as they're sealing to the jar. I'm just gonna start taking them out slowly, putting them over here to cool. So yeah, jalapeno jelly, and you can already start hearing them pop. And I'll just keep doing this until it's done. All right, so I've got all of my jalapeno jelly. You can hear some of them are popping now. I've got all of my jalapeno jelly over here. I'm gonna leave them to cool for about 24 hours. I'm not gonna touch them, not gonna move them. I'm just gonna leave them where they're at, let them completely seal, cool all the way down, and then I'll go ahead and start storing them. I do write the dates on them just so that I know when I did this project. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more canning videos, I'll go ahead and link that. You'll see it over on the side. Just click there. It'll take you to our playlist of canning videos. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, like, comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.